In
this video clip, Gregor takes you through the application procedure for the DKB credit. Here you will learn how to successfully apply for a credit and what to keep in mind so the credit remains as low priced as advertised. First, Gregor would like to give you a few reasons why he has chosen DKB. First, the interest rate that is independent from your credit history, a very important point. This means that the interest rate is the same for all receivers of the credit. You might know this from credit comparisons. You find a very inexpensive bank with a low-priced interest rate, enter your personal information, and all of a sudden the interest rate is considerably higher as first stated. This will not happen to you with DKB. Second, you have the opportunity for unscheduled repayments at any time and free of charge. This means if you are in the situation to be able to make an additional payment or even repay the whole credit earlier, you can do this. With that, you can save some money regarding the interest payments and will be debt-free again earlier. And as a third point, the private credit at DKB is without additional charges, unless you buy something like an insurance, but we will talk about that later. Here you can do a credit calculation. When you slide the control far to the right, you can see that the maximum credit you can get at DKB is 50,000 euro. The credit duration can be stretched to a maximum duration of 84 months. In Gregor's example, a small amount is sufficient and only a short duration is required, since our purpose in this case is to demonstrate how to successfully apply for a DKB credit. By the way, other factors that speak for a DKB credit are the quick credit decision and quick disbursement, which we will see during the further proceedings. Now Gregor is clicking on Kreditanfrage stellen, as in inquiring about credit, and then we see the intended disbursement amount. For the intended use, there are several suggestions to select. For Gregor it's Other, or in German Sonstiges. He does not know yet what he wants to do with the money, since this is mainly for demonstration purposes. You will probably have a clear idea about your own intended use. The day of this credit inquiry is Sunday, May 5th, and the earliest possible date of disbursement is 5 days from now. One could, if one needed the money for a particular date, select a different date from the upcoming 3 months here. For expedience purposes, we are simply keeping the pre-selected date. This is the question regarding whether your account should be debited with the credit installment on the 15th or the 30th. The reason being that some people receive their salary in the mid of the month and some at the end of the month. Therefore, you can adjust this here accordingly. Then you enter your date of birth and family status. Here an insurance has been pre-selected. It's called Ratenschutzversicherung, which means payment protection insurance. And there are several. Let's leave it like it is for the moment, and Gregor will explain later why he will change it. Next, the question of employment status. Are you self-employed or not? Then you tick this box. You can include a second debtor here, which for example can be the spouse or friend, or a different person like mother, daughter, or for some people even a neighbor. This might have a positive impact on the credit decision. By the way, whenever you see this I, you can hover over it with the mouse to read more. In Gregor's case, this remains a 9, or no. And now he clicks Berechnen, as in calculate. When scrolling downwards, we can now see this offer. 2,500 euro is what he wants to have, and this is what the selected insurance would cost. Processing fee is 0, and this is now the actual amount to be financed, the disbursement amount plus insurance. And this would be the monthly installment for a duration of 12 months. And, we'll talk about this again later, the annual percentage rate has remained exactly like in the offer. That has not changed. Now, Gregor is not a friend of insurance products he doesn't need. You can leave something like that in when you are really short of cash and have a high credit amount and the house, family or whatever is at stake. In such a case, it does make sense to select an insurance. If this does not apply to you, you can save your money and not select an insurance. So, Gregor clicks on Neu berechnen, calculate new. And you can see that the insurance amount has disappeared, or rather is now at €0. The monthly installment has been decreased as well by about €6 that one now saves each month. Let's scroll down and click on Weiter, proceed. Now we have the personal information. First thing, the net income. If it applies, you can select child benefits here. It is staggered like that: 0, then 1 child, 2 children, 3 children. Other income. This is about regular recurring income, and that can consist of different things. For Gregor, for example, it comes from a mini job, where he monthly gets this amount from. And this you can put in here: part-time job, side job. Here you see what else can be put in: parental benefits, rental income, and general part-time job, or also pension. Once you've done that, a new field opens. You can put in additional other income here. Now, regarding your residential status, is it for rent or are you the owner? In case of rent, you state the rent amount. If you are the owner of the property, you are asked for the square meters. If you are health insured under a statutory insurance plan, you leave this field free, unless you have private additional insurance. If you are privately health insured, you enter the monthly amount for this insurance here. For the statutorily insured, this amount has already been taken into account with the difference between your gross salary and net salary. In case you also have current real estate financing, you include the monthly installments here. If it applies to you, here's another field for alimony. And in case you have an already existing credit that you want to refinance, then you enter the amount of the monthly installments for that here. For Gregor, this is not the case. Weiter, proceed. Now you enter your personal data and state here whether you are already a DKB customer. Gregor, by the way, has already been a happy DKB customer for 10 years with their free Giro account, which of course is another reason for him to select DKB in this particular case. Now you state where you live and how you are available. This is something we will fast forward a bit. An advantage here is that regarding the disbursement account, you can even use the old account number. And you can see here that DKB automatically converts that to the new IBAN and BIC. Then there's the question whether this account will also be used for paying the credit repayments. Yes, of course. So this account is where the repayments will be debited. Now we have the statements regarding your employment. First, your occupational group, and then information regarding your employer. Again, we'll fast forward this. Okay, the application is done. Check the terms and conditions and information regarding data protection. It's probably the best if you simply leave this as it is, since you otherwise don't have a chance to receive the credit. The disbursement amount here is around €2,500. As we have said, we are not taking the insurance. Credit duration is 12 months. And the monthly installment is now €213.29. Gregor would rather have a round amount for his monthly installment, so he chooses Ändern, change. You can do that at any time during the application process. Okay, let's take out the months and type in the monthly installment amount that we want to pay. Gregor types in around 200 euro and clicks on Neu berechnen, New calculation. And the program shows the new calculation here below. And with that, the duration is now 13 months, with the final installment being a little lower than the other. Calculation-wise, it is basically the same as before, but the installment amount looks somewhat friendlier now. Then, after clicking on Weiter, we check the application once more. All data stays put in until we get back to the page. Let's continue at this point. Gregor doesn't have anything to do with money laundering, so let's mark this. And he also agrees to having his credit history checked, which is a normal procedure for credit. Every bank does this, so he basically can't do anything else than marking this as well. Another click on Weiter, and once again the notification regarding the insurance. Of course, this is something the vendor can make money from, which we assume in this case is DKB. But this is a manageable credit amount, so Gregor decides the risk is manageable for him and that he does not need this insurance. Here is once more an overview of our information for a final check. Gregor has been recording this. He's certain that the information is correct and clicks Weiter, proceed. It has worked and the credit application has been successfully forwarded to DKB. There are now two possibilities. You can either print it out, that would be here, or have it sent home to you by regular mail. For example, if you don't have a printer. Gregor clicks on the application and sees that it has 14 pages, and so actually is rather long. If he needed the credit quickly, then he would print the application himself, sign it and send it back to the bank. Since he is not really in a hurry, he decides to have DKB send him the paperwork comfortably home. Okay, this has worked and he will receive the printouts in a few days. With that, the video is coming to an end. In further episodes we will show you the credit disbursement, the debiting of the first installment, as well as the credit reduction due to some unscheduled additional installments. If you subscribe to Gregor's YouTube channel, or even better, become a fan and subscribe to the newsletter of our special web portal, you'll be notified about important updates that can help you improve your banking. Now we wish you good luck with your own credit application. Now you have seen how easy it is and what to pay special attention to.